거라고 생각합니다. 김 위원장님 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, will you invite Chairman Kim to the White House?
Absolutely, I will.
Mr. Kim, would you like to come to Washington?
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And that is the signing that the president promised about 1 hour ago. We still have no idea what has just been signed by both the president and the North Korean dictator. I want to go to former ambassador to South Korea, former Ambassador Christopher Hill. Ambassador Hill, what do you think has to be in that document, which the president called a comprehensive document? Kim called it a historic document. And what constitutes a comprehensive document in this situation? I want to go to former Ambassador Michael McFaul on that.
Well, Lawrence, we don't know what's in the document, like you said. President Obama, when he first met with President Medvedev in Moscow in 2009, they signed a joint understanding for the parameters for how to negotiate the New START treaty. And in that document were very concrete goals that both sides agreed to that later became a treaty that was then ratified by both governments. So I hope we'll see something similar in this document that's been signed. Obviously, we have to wait and see it once they release it.
Mike Murphy, we heard the president refer to it as a start. So surely that sounds like something that's going to have a lot of promises attached to it, both by the dictator of North Korea and by the president of the United States.
Yeah, I think it'll be an agreement to talk about more talking. That said, the thing I'll be looking for, unless there's some huge home run here, which I'm very dubious of because I don't think the regime will ever give up their nukes, but will it mention sanction relief? Because what I'm worried about is that we make the mistake of trading away sanctions against North Korean promises of the future, which would fit the North Korean regime strategy of the long game and the president's need for immediate acclimation. So if we give away concrete things like lightening up sanctions in exchange for their promise to go on forever to talk about getting to some golden solution, that would be a huge strategic defeat, I believe, for us. The problem with outlaw regimes is when you negotiate with them, you're negotiating in good faith. That's how we operate. They don't. So these agreements are very tricky, and you just can't give them any good faith for long-term promises, particularly if you give them anything like what they really want, which is sanction relief. We already gave them a summit. We paid at the door. Let's see what we get.
And Jason Johnson, on sanction relief, this is the administration that wants to reimpose sanctions on Iran with no evidence whatsoever that Iran was in any way violating the Iran deal.
Yeah, this administration wants to reimpose sanctions on Iran after tearing up a deal that other countries are involved with. This is a country that wants to put high tariffs on our allies, and yet the president can sit there and say, you know, he's honored and had this great time with Kim Jong-Un. My real concern about this, and other people have mentioned it, is we have no idea what comprehensive means when it comes out of the mouth of this president. It could have been a big piece. It could have been a high school note. Do you like me? Check yes or no. Who knows? Because we're dealing with Donald Trump here. If this ends up having timelines saying, look, we're going to meet, or representatives from our nations will meet every 18 months, and this will be accomplished at this point. If there's benchmarks and check marks and everything else like that, that would be fantastic. But there's nothing about this administration that would lead one to believe that this will be a comprehensive message. And the president will continue to sort of wing it whenever it is he feels like it. And again, I'll also say this. Even if we wanted to lift sanctions or do something about sanctions, the president's horrible relationship with the rest of the world right now would make it difficult to get other Western nations to participate in lifting these sanctions. So I don't even know if what he's saying now can be enforced by alliances that we had less than 48 hours ago.
Ambassador McFaul, here we are on what is now June 12th in 2018. Is it conceivable that there could be a deadline in this agreement that precedes November of this year, precedes November of 2018, which is to say precedes the congressional elections? Is it possible there could be anything that we're going to go to the president now? He's speaking again.